Hey everybody, Aubrey here, mama of the Rod Squad. We got 7 kiddos running around here, and I just want to share with you guys today some ways that I've used essential oils in my labor and deliveries, as well as postpartum. So we're just gonna kind of start at the top with early labor and then just move all the way through postpartum situations. So when I am first going into labor, if I'm home, which typically I am, birth story is a whole other video, but if I'm home, which I typically am when I'm going into early labor, I like to start diffusing wild orange and peppermint together. All right, these oils here are just really, they give you a lot of energy. It just kind of increases your stamina, and it's just like, all right, like get my head in the game. I'm about to have a baby today. It's gonna be great. So these are really good to diffuse early on in labor, just so that you're like, if it's like, think of it like a marathon, like you're like pumping yourself up, like, all right, we can do this. All right, I also like to use a little bit of copaiba as well as frankincense. You can take a little bit of those internally. They are gonna help just like calming yourself, especially like I know when I was pregnant with my first, I was kind of jittery, like nervous, like what's happening, and I've never had a baby before, and what's gonna go on and all of that. And so it's just kind of like, let's calm down, Aubrey, let's calm down. Everything's gonna be okay. Another calming blend, like if you're getting just like as you're going through labor, if you're feeling kind of stressed, or you're feeling like obviously it's a lot of work and you need to relax or you need to calm down, I really love Balance. doTERRA has this awesome blend called Balance. It has, let's see, spruce, hoe wood, frankincense, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and honestly, it just smells amazing. And I'm gonna actually use it right now. You can use it on your wrists, and then I like to put it behind my ears, and because it's just like you can kind of keep smelling it. And then I like to just dab it on my chest and rub it around. The blend here already has fractionated coconut oil in it, so you don't need to dilute it. You can just apply it right to your skin, and you can smell it, and it smells amazing and wonderful. Another great blend is Serenity, and that would be another one good to just inhale. I don't have it with me right here because it's in my kid's bedroom, because we use it every night in their diffusers. If you're getting really deep into labor, and maybe you're going through transition, which is usually one of the hardest times of labor, and you're just feeling like, I am done, like I can't do this, this is not happening, like just get this baby out of me, then you're feeling that fatigue and that exhaustion. I used Rose, and I know it's kind of hard to read, but I used Rose, and this is, I love these from doTERRA because Rose is an expensive oil. If you think of just a bouquet of roses is expensive, right? My sweetheart just went and got me Serenity. I've got some good helpers. This is Serenity, it's purple, it smells delicious. Like, it's one of my favorite oils ever. But yes, this is another like calming and relaxing one. It's a really good one to diffuse if you're just needing to relax for a little bit. But as far as Rose goes, it is fairly expensive because, again, just think of buying roses. Just a dozen, a bouquet of a dozen roses is going to run you a pretty hefty price. And so to distill them, I don't know the actual number, but they have to use so many rose petals to get a bottle of rose oil. So what doTERRA did to make it more affordable is they sell it in what they call the doTERRA Touch, or they come pre-diluted, and so it's a lot more affordable. And I mean, it smells like roses. Everybody has smelt roses. And again, this one is good also behind your ears, on your wrists, on your chest, maybe on your neck if you want to smell it a bit more. So this one's really good if you're just feeling exhausted, you feel like you can't do it anymore. This is a really good blend or oil for fatigue or exhaustion. All right, now, ladies, I even shook the table because this is how important it is. We're gonna talk about the pain and discomfort part, okay? Now, here's the deal. You are having a baby. So it's probably gonna hurt, okay? But we do have some oils that can at least help us manage the pain, maybe relax through the pain so that we can get that precious, wonderful baby, and then it makes it all worth it. But as far as like rubbing on your actual abdomen when you're having contractions and things like that, you can use lavender, you can use frankincense, and you can use another oil called marjoram. If you are an avid cook, you might know that marjoram is a herb that you can get in the, you know, the bulk section or whatever, and it smells fairly herby because it is, yes, from an herb. So marjoram is going to be a good one for pain. Also for back labor, if you're having really bad back labor, maybe your baby is not in the best position. I had 2 of my 7 that were just like not getting into position a little like fast enough for me, and it caused a lot of back pain. We have Deep Blue, which is a really great oil, as well as black pepper. My midwife suggested that with my last baby, and I didn't actually have any, but she had some on hand, and so we used a combination of Deep Blue and black pepper, and they just rubbed it on my back every 10 to 15 minutes, and gave me a little bit of a back massage, and it really did help a lot. Again, I was in pain because I was having a baby. Like, it's going to hurt. Like, I really hate to break it to you, but I would not have chosen to do it 7 times all naturally if it was unbearable, okay? So definitely these oils are beneficial, but don't think like I'm gonna put this oil on my belly and then I'm not gonna feel anything. Like, that's probably not gonna happen. But they can calm our nerves, they can help manage the pain, and just really lead to a very successful labor and delivery. So let's talk about the delivery side. You've had the baby, hopefully you've gotten a chance to maybe take a sitz bath or like an herbal bath or a shower, and like you're comfortable and you're like ready to live this postpartum life of 6 weeks. Like, what does that look like? So when it comes to postpartum, there are definitely some ways that oils are very, very beneficial. So after you've had the baby, if it's your first, you may or may not feel the fact that your uterus now, which was just blown up like a big balloon with the baby in it, now has to contract down to its original size. So with my first 2 babies, I didn't really feel this process, but the more babies I had, oh my goodness, let me just say, I definitely felt my uterus contracting. It was very painful. So some of the oils that I would put on my tummy after the fact, especially right before I was gonna nurse them, because when you nurse your baby, it like signals to your uterus to like, let's contract, guys, and let's get back into shape. So the oils that I would use on my tummy during that time is helichrysum, geranium, which comes from a flower, and it also smells amazing. And marjoram again. So a lot of these you're gonna hear over and over because they have a lot of beneficial things having to do with pregnancy and delivery. So marjoram, geranium, helichrysum. I would just dilute them a little bit in my hand, rub it on my belly as much as I felt needed. Another very, very, very important aspect, ladies, is your perineum, okay? You just had a baby. Like, you pushed a baby out, okay? And it's made for that, and it works, but you know. I don't need to go into that. So I like to do a peri spray, whether one of those little squirty peri bottles or if you want to make up your own little spray bottle, either way is really fine. But what you're going to use for that is 5 drops of lavender, 5 drops of geranium, and 5 drops of helichrysum. Helichrysum has such amazing skin reparative properties. Like, it's so good for healing just in all sorts of areas, like cuts and wounds and all that. But it is going to be so wonderful for you ladies. Definitely do this for yourself. And this is something you can have these set aside before you've had the baby, so you're not like scrambling around at the end trying to figure your life out after having a baby, because you need to relax and calm down, so that's definitely what I recommend for you as the mother. Like, take care of you. You just had a baby. Like, you don't need to be pushing yourself. Relax. Take care of you, help your tummy out, help your perineum, and let's move forward into breastfeeding, okay? We can definitely use oils to help us in our breastfeeding journey. You can use clary sage to help start production, But I will just say, don't flip out if you just had a baby and you don't have milk yet. That is how it's supposed to be. Your body produces something called colostrum for the first couple days sometimes. Sometimes my milk comes in at 48 hours. I think the longest my milk is taken is maybe like 2.5 to 3 days, but they are still getting something. So don't be like, oh no, I'm not producing any milk. Like colostrum it's not a lot, but it's super potent. It has so much nutrition in such a small little package. It's wonderful. And your baby, when he or she comes out of your belly, their stomach is like the size of a pea. It's super tiny. So you can use clary sage if you're a little worried that you're not going to have good milk production. That kind of helps get the ball rolling. And then after the fact, if you want to increase your supply, you can use fennel. And fennel smells to me very much like licorice. And what you would do is you would just dilute it in your hand, and you're going to apply it to the upper part of your breast. You don't want to put it where the baby's going to actually be eating from and things like that. And you can do that every few hours, but for no more than 10 consecutive days. You don't want an oversupply, because then you're going to lead into issues like mastitis and things like that, and you don't want to go into that territory. I have gotten clogged ducts, and it's no fun. So you want to be able to just let your body produce the milk that your baby needs. And I'm going to link to another video that I'm putting out of your essentials as a new mom, because there's an amazing little contraption that's gonna just change everything when it comes to breastfeeding, and I will share that in that video. But yes, clary sage and fennel. All right, so we've talked about all the way through labor. We've talked about our uterus and our perineum, and we've talked about our breasts. Like, we've talked about it all. So now the last thing I want to talk about is just hormonal support when it comes to your postpartum journey. And again, it's one that you have heard before because they're just great like that. Oils are very versatile. Balance is so wonderful. And I would just put it on my feet every morning and every night. You can also use what's called the monthly blend or Clary Calm. And it's in a roller bottle, which is wonderful because you can just roll it on your lower abdomen and on your wrist. And that's just going to help your hormones get back to how they need to be. Lastly, I just want to encourage you all to just, again, like, once you had a baby, like, you just need to be able to relax and take some time for you. Drink a lot of water, add some lemon to that water, like get some detoxification going on, and just enjoy that sweet baby of yours. So there you go. Those are the ways that I personally have used essential oils in my labor and delivery. That is not an extensive list. There are other ways. There are plenty of other books and websites that you can look to, but that is just ways that I have actually experienced all of those. I have used those oils as I've had my babies. So I hope that was helpful. Let me know if there's any oils that you have used in labor and delivery, or if you have any further questions.